So today guys, we are still in Napier, waking up at Archie's Bunker Backpackers, and today we're going to be doing some supping and some sipping. Today we're having a pretty big day in Napier. We're going to be going to paddleboard with Paddleboarding Hawke's Bay, and then this afternoon we're going to be drinking some awesome wine at Church Road Winery.
Because we're doing an introductory lesson to stand-up paddleboarding, we're first learning the basics on land so we're not wobbling about all over the water, and learning how to stand up, how to be stable on the water, and what to do if we fall off the paddleboard.
After this quick refresher lesson, after all, we've done paddleboarding before during this trip, so we are professional now, right? We are finally hitting the water. At first, we are actually staying on our knees just because it's a little bit more stable, but after a short while, we're going to be standing up, or at least I hope we're going to be standing up. Paddleboarding Hawke's Bay offers paddleboarding lessons and tours in many different places around the Hawke's Bay area, and they usually pick their spot according to the weather, and because, well, you can see the sky, the weather is not really super sunny today and there is a big risk of swell. We are actually doing it in the Napier Harbour, which is where the calmest waters of the area are.
Our guides Earl and Alicia are giving us loads of really helpful tips for us to enjoy our stand-up paddleboarding experience, because SUP is actually one of the world's fastest growing water sports. In fact, it's totally taking New Zealand by storm and can be found all over New Zealand. To enjoy New Zealand's waterways and coastline, it's a really awesome way to explore the area. We're super stoked when we managed to stand up on our paddleboards for the first time without falling off, but quickly Earl is telling us to get straight back onto our knees just as a precaution for when boats are passing by, and it's a really good way to practice keeping your balance while standing up and getting back down on your board again. Once we stand up back on our paddleboards again and start cruising around the Napier Harbour, we can really understand why people do SUP for health benefits. We can really feel that this is a full body workout because we're trying to stabilise our centre of gravity the whole time. It's also a really cool low impact exercise because you're really unlikely to injure yourself while paddleboarding. It's also a cardio workout, it improves endurance, improves balance. Basically, there's nothing wrong with this sport. It's really cruisy and really awesome.
When you do as many tours as we do, you get to notice all those little things, and one thing that I really like with Paddleboarding Hawke's Bay is the awesome equipment that we get. We get awesome life jacket. They are absolutely not intrusive. They are this little belt that you see on our waist. If it touches the water, it just inflates and starts floating. That is so cool. I also really love the boards because they are really wide, really big, really thick, and they are inflatable boards, making them super comfortable for us to stand on and even to kneel on. Paddleboarding around the Hawke's Bay Harbour is one of the best ways to experience it all. We get to go close to all those boats and it's really cool. We even see a replica of a massive Maori waka. Sadly, we could not film it because that's the point when we ran out of battery, because you know, that always happens. As we are getting more comfortable on the paddleboard, Laura and I just can't help but starting to race each other. We are big kids after all, so we have a bit of a competition. We have to stand up on the board and to make it as fast as possible back to the bridge that we passed under before. It's a bit of a tight race, but around the end I'm taking the lead, and I'm taking quite a risk before passing under the bridge because I had not planned to actually get the time to kneel down, so I have to squat. That's real sport right here.
Yeah, right. One squat is your sport for the year, Robin. Anyway, we are looping back to where we started our paddleboarding tour, and this has actually been a really awesome way to spend a morning in Napier. It's actually really affordable as well. It's only around $40 for a lesson, and it's a great option if you are brand new to paddleboarding or just wanting to refresh your skills. It's also a good way to work up an appetite, or at least an appetite for drinking, because Robin and I are now going to be moving on to a winery tour this afternoon, which you can see in our next episode.
After a long morning of paddleboarding, join us this afternoon during day 260 part 2, where we're going to be visiting one of the most famous winery in Napier.
Look at me, Robin. Sit up straight, do it down.